Howdy YouTube, this is Steven, and I'm back with another lyrical analysis. This time I'll be analyzing the song The Third Person and I by Jolin Tsai. And this song is from her latest album entitled Play, and it's also the first ballad that Jolin has released from the album Play. So I was like, hey, this is interesting. So why not do a lyrical analysis of it, right? So here we go. Oh yeah. I retrieved these lyrics from a website called jpopasia.com. So thanks a lot to that webpage. They're a great source for, of course, Japanese pop music as well as Asian pop music in general. So hey, check them out. But for now, here we go with the lyrical analysis. Here we go. The subjective lenses, or it should be the subjective lens, is too near. But they had it in plural. They had lenses. All right. The subjective lens is too near. The sadness too stereoscopic. All right. So here, Jolin, she is coming with some, some more thought-provoking lyrics here, definitely. Well, to be fair, she did it in her previous release too. But the subjective lens is too near. So I guess basically that's saying that you, like, the person or whoever is like too subjective to make an unbiased decision or unbiased opinion. The sadness too stereoscopic. Stereoscope is sort of like, I believe it's like something to do with photography, where they like combine two images to create depth. So basically, the sadness is too deep and profound. I think because pretty much like the stereoscope helps create kind of like depth and dimension within a photo. So pretty much, yeah, the sadness is too deep and profound. So basically, Jolene here she's just saying that your opinion is too biased, and the sadness in this situation is too profound. All right, next lyrics. Using distance to maintain the sense of alienation. All right, so here Jolene is saying that, oftentimes people distance themselves from certain people in certain situations or to maintain a sense of, as Jolene puts it, alienation. But the way I see it is, it's like she's trying to more or less, it's kind of like create a like professional distance, perhaps not professional, not in this case, but sort of like create an emotional distance so that you don't become emotionally invested or involved or attached to something, perhaps. But I know, alienation is pretty much kind of like feeling like an outsider or being an outsider, something along there. So the person is using the distance to maintain their position as an outsider, because when you're an insider, your viewpoint changes. Because sometimes when you look at something from the outside, it's different from when you're looking at something from the inside. Certain situations. All right, next lyrics. I look on coldly as a bystander, the scenery in the fog. So Jolene is saying that she's looking on as a bystander. So she's looking on as the third person in the situation. She's on the outside looking in, and everything looks foggy. So that's kind of like a metaphor for pretty much she doesn't see it. She can't understand it because everything's just not seeable. Like it's invisible, not visible. You can't see it, so you can't comprehend it. Something along there. Right. Next lyrics. On point, one shot till the end. The second face feels the strain. It smiles, still stiff. Using expression number 1 to face losses. So it sounds like this person might be two-faced, or either they just have a different side to them, perhaps. Sometimes you can just have a different side to them and not necessarily be like two-faced, because that's like a negative word. So the person has the second face that feels the strain. So I'm guessing that second face feels the pain, and its smile is stiff because it's like a forced smile. So they're like, the second face is putting on a brave face under, you know, like in this difficult situation. I'm not sure what the situation is, but some difficult situation that the person's in. I'm using expression number 1 to face losses. So they have two different expressions. You know, they put on one expression to kind of deal with facing, you know, defeat. Then the other second face, it, you know, puts on a brave smile, perhaps. Something along there. All right, next lyrics. I start using the tone of a third party, unhurried, as if nothing concerns me. So here Jolin is basically saying that she's starting to look at things as the third person. Like she's trying to look at things on the outside, looking in, versus her first person perspective, which would be on the inside. And she would have an insider's perspective there. And she's not rushed, you know, unhurried, you know, as if nothing concerns her. All right. Next lyrics, looking at him. Self-caused hysteria in the end. Looking at him. Sobbing solo on a double bed. So it sounds like she might be in a relationship and having some relationship problems here. That's new. All right, so here she is saying that she's looking at homeboy, somebody. You know, he's going crazy for some reason. She's saying it's self-caused, perhaps, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know Jolin that well. Let's see, looking at him, sobbing alone on the double bed. So I'm guessing something happened because he is crying alone, and Jolin is not, you know, there to comfort him for some reason. So I wonder what this situation, like, what's up here, Jolin? What up here? Like, he cheat on you? Did he do something underhanded or dishonest? Why aren't you comforting your boyfriend or whoever this dude is? All right, next lyrics. The me in third person. If I'm sick, then I'll moan. So crazy, so deep into this play. So crazy for your love. Let's see. So here she is saying that basically, when she's in the third person point of view, she, like, if she's sick, then she'll moan. A bit odd to say, but I guess basically she's saying if she got a problem, she'll let you know. And then she says, so crazy, so deep into this play. So she's looking at this as a third person. Thus, she is watching something unfold versus being in something as it's unfolding. So she's more or less kind of like, you know, again, being the bystander or being the audience. All right. Next lyrics. Letting him be. Self-caused hysteria in the end. Letting him be. Sobbing solo on a double bed. All right. So she's still letting homeboy be. She don't even want to help him. So I don't know who got the problem here. Is it him or you, Jolin? Who got the problem up in here? All right. Next lyrics. The me in third person, cursing until I'm so satisfied. All right. It sounds like Jolin. I guess she angry or something because she is throwing around curse words now. She's cursing like a sailor apparently. These minor things, what are they to me? Question mark. So she's asking herself, like, these minor things, I guess, somewhat insignificant things, what are they to her? Or what do they mean to her? Well, if you're calling them minor, then they might not mean as much to you. Next lyrics. Gradually, he calms down. Gradually, I walk further away. All right, so I guess she was just there watching him and not consoling him or anything. Now she said, okay, you're calming down, so I'm going to walk away now. If this is a relationship, then Jolin, you are terrible. You don't know what he could have been crying about. He could have, like, lost one of his parents, his grandparents. He could have, like, got robbed, or his favorite show could have been canceled. You don't know what homeboy crying about. Let's see. All right. Next lyrics. That craziness gradually disappears. So I'm guessing homeboy is coming to his senses now. Or either she's coming to her senses now. One of the two. Someday I'll turn back, seeing that he's still rooted in the same spot. So she's saying, like, I'm moving on. And when I look back at him, he's still going to be in the same position. Perhaps that's why she's moving on, because he doesn't have any ambition. Maybe. I'm trying to be fair here, Josiahs. That's what I call the Jolin Tsai fans. Josiahs. Trying to be fair here and not totally put it all on Jolin. Maybe he could have messed up or something like that. So I'm going to try to be, objective and look at this from a different point of view. After all, this is the theme of this whole song here. All right. Next lyric. Still sheltering those tears that were packed away that year. Man, that's a nice rhyme scheme there. Considering this was a translation. So, who's sheltering the tears? Who's holding back these tears? Is it Jolin? It sounds like Jolin is, because he's sobbing. So she must have had some pain that she done just, held inside and tucked away. I'm not sure why, though. I'm not sure why she did that. But I'm guessing that, maybe this is Jolin's way of saying that sometimes she's not emotionally available or have a hard time dealing with emotional things. So she kind of, takes a step back from the situation and tries not to involve herself with things like that. All right. Here are the next lyrics. I'm thankful for his hysteria once upon a time. So I guess once upon a time she was thankful for his hysteria, his craziness for some reason. Right? I guess maybe she thought that was like, a turn on at one point. But then it got too much and like, I think I might need to move along. All right. Next lyrics. I'm thankful for him always being there. So he's crazy and he's always there for you. Okay, that's a bit of an odd combination. You got a crazy person who is consistently there for you. I don't know. I guess she had a hard time trying to, balance that out and deal with that. And that's true, because you want someone to be there for you, but you don't want to deal with that craziness all the time. People get paid to deal with, people with, kind of like the mental illnesses and stuff like that. Mental disorders, But I guess Jolin, like, I ain't the one. So she moving on. All right, next lyrics. The me in third person, I approach slowly, embracing him, unable to hold back my tears. So, let me think. We got one more line here. So I'll say the whole thing. The me in third person, I approach slowly. So she approaches herself slowly. She's, I guess the third person and the first person are finally meeting, are coming to a meeting place. Embracing him, unable to hold in my tears. Shouldn't be embracing her. So I'm not sure if she's embracing herself or she's embracing her ex-boyfriend or whoever the dude was. Last lyrics. All that happened in the past, they're all at a place in my heart. So I guess everyone from that situation, they have a special place in Jolin's heart. All right, all right. That's a nice way to end the song. So this whole situation here, it sounds like Jolin was in some type of a difficult love situation, and she's trying to like look at the situation from an objective point of view, from the third person, outside looking in, instead of from her perspective as the first person. But I wonder who this him was. Was the him her the entire time? Like, I'm kind of confused by this translation here, and I need this to be cleared up though. I'm not sure who can clear this up for me, but I'm assuming that, okay, it was, the first person, Jolin, the second person was the dude, and the third person was Jolin on the outside looking in. But this could be from a whole different angle and be like, okay, Jolin was the first person, second person, and third person. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was the dude the entire time. I'm wondering if this was like a translation error where it was like they just used him because they felt like that was something that was neutral, not that didn't have any gender, but it does. But sometimes, in English, it's hard to have a neutral. I don't think there's a neutral or neuter, gender. Like, it's either, I guess, male or female. They don't have like a word to do something neutral. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm a little confused by this song, but I'm gonna go with, let's see. Let me look at this song once more before I move on. All right. So I'm going to try to replace it looking at him. So I'm going to say looking at myself, self-causing hysteria, looking at myself, sobbing in a double bed. The me in third person. If I sick, then I'll moan. So crazy, so deep. Let's see. Third person. Kirsten sounds satisfied. I'm thankful for her hysteria once upon a time. I'm thankful for her always being there. The me in third person, I slowly approach, embrace him. Unable to hold back tears. Alright. I'm going to just say that this song was about some type of a love situation. Instead of Jolin being every person, the third, second, and first person. I'm going to say that Jolin was the first and third person. And that the second person was just some dude that she was dating, perhaps. I'm going to leave it there. But what do you think about that? Feel free to let me know in the comments. All right. Moving on to what I thought about when I first actually heard this title. When I first heard this title, The Third Person and I thought this song was probably going to be something about a relationship and like maybe Jolin and Tsai like confronting maybe like the woman who was cheating with her man, something like that. Or either, another theory I had was that Jolin was like doing a song about someone who has like multiple personality disorder. But it seems like she is saying that you need to look at things in the third person point of view. Okay, fair enough. I think that's good advice. Alright, so for the music video for this song, it's not anything spectacular, but it is mildly interesting. And let's see, it's pretty much like Jolin and Tsai on the set. And at one point she's in front of the camera. And then at another point in the video she's behind the camera kind of directing things. So it's kind of like playing on that, point of view thing where you're in it, but then she's trying to be out of the situation when she becomes the director. And there's also a cameo from a popular Hong Kong actress of Chinese descent by the name of Karina Lau. And to be fair, I don't really know much about, um, you know, Chinese celebrities, Taiwanese celebrities, Hong Kong celebrities. I don't really know much about the Mandarin speaking celebrities and entertainers. So I didn't really know who this woman was. However, you do got the internet, so I looked her up, and she's a popular actress, and she started in the '80s, and she kind of had like in the '80s she was known for like her girl next door roles that she played in in films. Perhaps she was sort of like a Molly Ringwald of the Hong Kong world, perhaps, or the Mandarin speaking entertainment world. But anywho, so she comes in and makes a cameo in Jolin Tsai's video, and at first I'm like, hey, who's that lady there? And I was like, hey, Jolin, is that your mom? You should say, what's up to your mom. But it's not Jolin's mom, but they do look like they could be related. They do kind of have a similar look. But then again, I guess that could be a whole can of worms. So I'm going to skip that, what I was thinking there. But I think they do have a similar look. What do you guys think? You think they have a similar look? Feel free to let me know in the comments. Let's see. What else I can say? At the end of the video, there's some dialogue, and I tried my best to find out what the dialogue was between Jolin Tsai and Karina Lau. And this is what I was able to come up with, and it's pretty much just Karina saying, speaking. Jolin doesn't respond back. She just listens. Right. So here's what she says. I assume, based on my sources. I came here a little early. It's not easy to look at yourself, is it? You've done well. And I think that's pretty much something along the lines of what she said. All right. I'll say that Jolin Tsai looks nice in the video, but hey, is that really anything out of the ordinary? Jolin Tsai usually always looks nice, right? Let's see. However, I will say that when I first heard this song, I actually was a bit bored by it. And also, Joe Sayers, don't be like, try not to take too much offense to this, but I don't feel that Jolin Tsai has the best voice for ballads. To be fair, I haven't heard a lot of her ballads, but I have heard a few of her ballads. And to be fair, I do like at least one of her ballads. I like the ballad, the English translation is Unreal Confessions. And it's like she's in the music video, it's like snowing, and she's like on a train, and then she's like off the train, and then she's running in the snow, and then like digging up her boyfriend who got covered in snow. And for some, I don't know, but y'all know that video. It's like but yeah, I do like that song, but I guess I haven't really had any ballads other than that song from Jolin really do much for me. And I don't think that Jolin Tsai has the best voice for ballads. And the reason that is because I think her voice is a little too soft and unexpressive. Again, Joe Sayers, don't be too offended. I'm not trying to go there because I do like Jolin. I think she is winning right now. I think she's doing her thing right now, actually. But for me, I guess it's because she lacks the vocal gymnastics that I look for in a ballad, or at least the emotional part of the ballad, like having. I guess she lacks emotion in her singing. I guess it's a bit too emotionalist for me, perhaps. So, ultimately, when I first heard the song, I wasn't really excited about it. However, the song did kind of grow on me a little bit. But then again, the song does drag on for longer than it should, in my opinion. So I kind of like it and I kind of don't. Yeah. I guess it might depend on what mood I'm in. Um, but I will give Jolin credit and say that these lyrics are pretty, um, you know, profound and thought-provoking. So I'll give her that. And when I heard the song, I was like, I need to listen to these lyrics because I felt like, okay, I'm not really getting any type of emotion here that much. So maybe if I read the lyrics, then I might, appreciate the song more. And I kind of do. Kind of. But I think I've said enough for the time being. So thanks a lot for watching. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to give me a thumbs up. The feedback and support is extremely appreciated. Thanks a lot. Especially Jolin Tsai fans and Taiwanese people for representing. You guys definitely represent. So thanks a lot. Until the next lyrical analysis, adios and goodbye for now.